guys, today we're checking out my review of Pokemon, Detective Pikachu. Film stars Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu and Justin Smith as they try to uncover the secrets of what happened to Justin's father. So Justin Smith's character comes out. When you first meet him, he's kind of wishy-washy about his life. He's an accountant and he seems like his life's going pretty good. The movie kind of opens up on you kind of seeing him, I guess, at his low, and his friends trying to bring him up, and kind of jazz him up to try and catch a Pokemon finally, because everyone's obsessed with him having a Pokemon partner because they think that that's what's going to make his life better. But it obviously doesn't, and he just ultimately decides to just brush it off. I have to be honest, I never really thought that I'd see a Pokemon movie, a live action at that. I've seen the regular cartoon ones, but I really didn't foresee a live action one just because I thought, I think we all thought that. The amount of detail and work that went into making these characters is phenomenal. Like, I would recommend just going to see it just to see the Pokemon. Like, they're done so well. The wrinkles, from the wrinkles, to Pikachu's face, like when he's so sad, you can see the wrinkle, the little crinkle in his eyebrows and his eyes and his cheeks. The facial structure is so lifelike and so real, and it gives these characters such life. They really do act like real animals, and it's cool, to watch, because these are characters that you probably grew up with if you're as old as I am. But, it's cool to watch nonetheless. And they're done very well. They're not done in a very creepy way, where you have nightmares. It's done in a very nice, realistic way, like these are just realistically what these creatures would look like. And it's just a really beautiful, nice thing to see. There are some moments where I feel like when he's holding Pikachu or when he's kind of moving him around, you can kind of see where the disconnect comes in those characters. And I don't know if that's why they shied away a lot from the Pokemon kind of interacting too much with the people. It does look a little off, at least for me it did. But other than that, their integration, the characters, the real characters kind of, looking at the Pokemon and interacting with them looks pretty spot on. There are a few things that I didn't like about the film. Particularly, I didn't really care for, I keep calling her Discount Misty because that's pretty much what she felt like to me. I think her name was Lucy. I don't even remember her name. But the girl, I did get it. I feel like they did it just because they wanted him to have a romantic interest / sidekick that helped him. But I feel like that was Pikachu's part. I really don't feel like the film needed her. I feel like the film could have done actually better without her, just because you would have had a little more time to really center on these two characters. And I feel like her part is pretty mild. Like, everything that she helped them find out, I don't know. I feel like they could have stumbled upon that themselves. And so I really just didn't see the point in her character. And I don't know. I just really didn't care for her. I just kept thinking she was a Discount Misty. I don't know. That just kind of killed it for me after that. I also didn't know how I was going to feel about having, Ryan do Pikachu's voice. And it grew on me as I watched the movie. It still felt kind of weird just because I'm so used to seeing him as Deadpool. But it grew on me. But then they do this thing at the end of the film where, surprise, he's in the film. And you're like, oh, I don't know what the purpose of doing it was. I feel like we could have just had him play his voice and that would have been fine. I don't know if they did it just because it had to make sense that way. I don't know how person to Pokemon mind works, but it just didn't fit for This Is My Dad. I couldn't believe it, just because Ryan Reynolds is not that old. Not old enough to have a son that age, and it just looked weird. It looked weird seeing them hug. It looked weird to him referring to him as dad. I was just like, ugh. It was cringy. I just didn't think that Ryan would have he fit that part of playing his dad. Like, I was kind of expecting someone a little more just older looking, you know, like a rough detective, you know, like Ryan Reynolds just doesn't look like that, you know. He looks like the uncle. And it took away from the overall feeling I had at the end of the film. I also felt like there could have been a lot more battles incorporated. You know, this is the first time I've really seen these Pokemon. I would have liked to have seen a lot more just, you know, jazz and, you know, things like that. I mean, I'm not saying they didn't put enough action. I'm just saying I wanted more. I thought they did a really good job with forming these battles. But I did have a problem with Pikachu all of a sudden just kind of tapping into his powers, where, like, you know, in the beginning of the film he's just like, I don't know how to use them, I don't know how to use this, and then all of a sudden he's just like, come on Pikachu, think, and he's just like, boom, magically got his powers and he realizes how to use them. And I mean, he, you know, he does say, well, I mean, I remember what he told me, but it's just like, if you don't really know how to use something, I just don't feel like you're going to be able to do that kind of precision that fast. If they have shown like a little bit of a montage where Pikachu is kind of focusing on trying to harness his power again and using it, and you know what I mean, it would have made more sense. But for you to just be in the moment and boom, you already know how to use your powers, it's just not realistic, and it made for a very like kind of like unrealistic climactic end. It was really nice to see their use of Mewtwo in this. I really liked having his character in there. The movie is very predictable. It's nothing new, you know. It's nothing we haven't seen before. You kind of already know what's gonna happen before it happens. So all in all, it wasn't a you know, it's not something you're gonna be like, you know, you already saw it happening. You're like, oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Nope. That makes sense. You know. And I feel like they try to kind of do this way so that you'll know what's gonna happen before it happens. Still, with that in mind, I thought the film was very well done. The Pokemon are they're so cute. They're so cute, and it's really worth seeing. Honestly, it is. Like it's a very magical thing to see, especially for little kids, but more so for the kid inside right here. I'm gonna go ahead and give Pokemon Detective Pikachu a 4.5.
I will electrocute you!
Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, you want to see more, don't forget to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you guys on the next one. See ya.